Yes, I'm listening, Mr. Templar, just like every Sunday, but I'm gonna have to leave now because I haven't had my breakfast yet. Templar.
Oh, no.
Now, I want you to get this printed in your paper, Mr. Alexander. It's vital. The world will end next Friday at 4:32 exactly, Eastern Standard Time. Tell your readers there's still time for redemption. Still time to turn pain and loss into goodness and grace. I suspect you, too, have given your soul to sinners, walked in the counsels of the ungodly.
Me, Mr. Templar?
You, Mr. Alexander. Now, you'll be hearing from me again soon with another message. Meantime, I'll be reading your paper. So get it printed.
Well, let's face it. There's something about Sunday morning that brings the kooks out of the woodwork.
Yeah. Next paper I work on, I'm gonna make sure they don't print on Sunday. You know what I've had this morning? One political crackpot, 2 religious fanatics, and a woman anonymous.
That is a special subdivision. What did she want, if it'll pass the censor?
Mr. Alexander, call on 2.
Polly, I'm going for my breakfast.
Mr. Alexander, I think it's personal. A woman.
I'll have him toast a bagel for you downstairs.
Alexander.
This is you? In person? The writer? The guy with the cute phrases?
This is Nicky Alexander. Who is it?
Miss Joyous.
Huh?
Don't you remember? Well, then you've got one lousy memory, Mr. Alexander. And that goes with the fact that you are one lousy reporter. Or predictor. Whatever it is. You gave me that name. You gave it to me. Miss Joyous. So thanks, Mr. Alexander. Thanks for nothing.
So I named you Miss Joyous, so what?
So it was a stupid name. A moronic name. And a moronic story that went with it. You wrote things. You gave me that name, Miss Joyous. You wrote things, and like a fool, I believed them, and I messed myself up. You wrote things, and now I have got nowhere to turn.
Look, I don't know what this is all about, but if you need something, maybe I can help.
Help? What are you going to do, write another story? Well, I'll give you your story. Here. Miss Joyous, read all about it. Miss Joyous kills herself.
Told you some joke.
I've heard better.
Who is she?
Real name? Ellie Prohaska. 4 years ago, I seem to have named her Miss Joyous.
Let's face it, your writing 4 years ago was a little joyous, but, what's wrong with her?
She wants to die.
They never mean it, not when they call in first. Those things were toasted, but I'm afraid they're a little cold now.
She seems more real than most of the kooks. She seems to have it in her mind that it's my fault, or at least the fault of the story I wrote 4 years ago.
Kid, your writing wasn't that bad 4 years ago. You might have driven Mark to suicide with those adjectives of yours, but nobody else. In a world of tragedy, 23-year-old Ellen Prohaska today came in for more than her share. The willowy damsel left her home this morning at 632 Atlantic Avenue in Brooklyn with high hopes of winning the annual Baldwin Park Beauty Contest sponsored by the Brooklyn Retailers Association. Before the morning was out, a year of dreaming and planning and living in hope ended when she was disqualified on a technicality. J.C. Mirth, chairman of the sponsoring committee, made the announcement following an anonymous disclosure that Miss Prohaska had been married and divorced before entering the competition. The contest, which guarantees $3,000 in gifts and cash to the winner, is limited to single women under 25. Well, so what? She wants to die now because she lost a contest 4 years ago?
Here's the follow-up. Read this.
Miss Prohaska, yesterday dubbed Misfortune's Child, today was renamed Miss Joyous. The 23-year-old contestant, barred yesterday from a beauty contest because of a technicality, today became the recipient of career offers from several of the city's largest modeling agencies. This followed the story bulletin describing her heartache. Patting yourself on the back, huh? And, Miss Prohaska, or rather Miss Joyous, both laughed and cried as she said to this reporter, "I wanted to die when I lost my chance to compete in the contest. Today, thanks to the bulletin story, I'm the happiest girl in the world." What was it, a dull day or something? Did you call the modeling agency and get them to promise her a job?
Yeah, something like that. And that's all there is to the story, Kluge.
Not quite. May I recall to you your last tender paragraph? So now, tomorrow belongs to her, Miss Joyous. The miracle that all of us pray for, the one that happens to so few of us, the dazzling, sudden stroke of fortune that changes our life, happened to her. It happened to her who yesterday was Ellie Prohaska, but who now, and forevermore, is Miss Joyous.
All right.
I told you, she doesn't mean it.
Just look. I heard the way she sounded. She needed help.
Help? How's she going to get help from us? She needs a doctor or a priest.
Kluge, just don't talk so much. Just see if you can find her, huh?
What shall I look under, P for Prohaska or J for Joyous?
Your jugs aren't so hot either.
Come in, Bill. Well, I told you I had a few drinks.
Sure, you told me.
I'm glad you could come, Phil.
You said it was important.
How about a drink?
Ellie, I can't stay long. My wife is waiting for me. I promised to get home for dinner.
I wait for you, Phil.
Yeah. Well, that's all over with. What is it you want?
I made a phone call a little while ago.
I know. That's why I'm here.
Not to you.
And what does that mean?
Shall I tell you?
Ellie, don't play games with me. You want to tell me something or ask me something? All right, go ahead.
I want to ask you something. How do I look? You always used to tell me how I looked. As soon as you walk in the door, you'd say, "Ellie, you look
I
wonderful."
thought we understood each other. I told you we were through, Ellie. That it was all over. That it had to be.
That was last week. You know I get lonely. I get scared and I think bad things. Well, you always used to help me when I thought bad things.
Can't you get it through your head you're better off without me? Go out, Ellie. Get yourself a job. Meet some men your own age. It's no good for you being with me.
I don't want men my own age, Phil. I want you. I care about you. Phil, I need you. And you need me.
No, Ellie. I don't. Forget me. I thought I did once. A young girl, pretty, even if she was a little mixed up. For a while I felt young, alive. Forgive me, Ellie. In the end, I felt ashamed.
That's your word? Ashamed? Well, do you want to hear mine? Desperate! I am desperate! Do you hear? I need you!
No, not me. Someone to take care of your bills. This place, your clothes, your psychiatrist. I can't anymore, Ellie. I'm not a rich man. I just can't do it anymore.
I need you! I need you! I need you.
You need anybody. Anybody.
I haven't got anybody. Oh, it isn't as if I were asking you to leave your family or to marry me. All I'm asking is for you to let things be the way they were.
Why did you call me? You said it was important. Now tell me. But I won't be trapped anymore.
Won't you? You are. I warned you last week what I'd do if you tried to walk out on me.
Ellie.
I meant it.
No, Ellie. You wouldn't do that to me.
Is it any worse than what you're doing to me? Oh, you're just like all the others. But you are not going to get away with it the way the others did.
I thought we were friends.
We were. We can still be again. It's up to you.
No answer here either, Nick.
When you think some of those model agencies would have a Sunday answering service? Try Murray Hill 49970.
Where you been? You think I want to spend all day Sunday on this? You knew we had the problem of that corner on Market Street to straighten out?
Sorry, Jesse. It was a personal matter.
I can imagine. What's the difference anyway? As per usual, I had to do the talking on something like this. I've talked. I'll get the boys started now.
Wait a minute, Jesse. Maybe we should talk a little more. I don't like it.
And I do. Our boys had that corner for 2 years, right? The stand makes us money, right? So nobody pushes our boys out. Good stands are hard to come by.
It's only one stand, Jesse. Somebody could get hurt.
Look, Phil, they push us out of one stand, then another, then another. But we're not going to be pushed. We got too much sweat in here.
I'm just saying maybe there's another way. I'm not like you. I've got no stomach for these things.
But you got stomach for this, huh? For this you got stomach and bought you a nice house.
Jesse.
Gracie wears a mink. For that you got stomach. Now listen. We're gonna keep what we got. Les. You know the corner?
Yeah.
Rough them up. And that's all, you understand? But make sure they get the message, and the message is stay off that corner.
Look, Mark, it's Sunday morning. You know how quiet that is. It won't take me any more than an hour to check this out.
Oh, I can recall other Sundays when it was very quiet and suddenly things became very noisy, like December 7, 1941, for example. Look, you say you've got no phone on the girl, you have a phone on the parents. Why don't you just call them up?
What am I supposed to say? I got a kooky call from your daughter and she said she's going to kill herself? Maybe there's nothing to this thing.
I consider that a major possibility.
Look, Mark, the Prohaskas don't live too far from here. Let me go over there and see what I can pick up.
Nick, you wrote a story 4 years ago. Now, you can't be responsible for everything that has happened to that girl since then. What are you going to do if you do find her? Nick, let me tell you this. You get involved with somebody who is sick like that, and you really get involved. Sometimes a good deal more than you care to. You get sucked in, you get pulled down, and suddenly you're moving around in dark corners. Now, everybody's got some dark corners in their life. Sometimes you wish you'd never started.
Are you telling me I can't follow my hunch out of this?
No, I never interfere with my reporters and their hunches unless they start bringing in too many wrong ones. You'd better call the parents first. Make sure they're home.
I'll bring you back something from the great outside. Maybe a corned beef sandwich if I pass a deli.
Try bringing me back a story. Don't forget, you follow.